Recording as we speak. All right, so to the left, the bottom left corner, you guys are going to see tickers we're going to focus on. Also this week, we're going to watch. We're going to see if there's any strength behind those tickers. That's very important. I'm going to get rid of that now because I want to actually get into focus on ES and SPY. Direction is important. Downside is important. And I actually want to put a line here to where they halted us at. Pretty interesting. All right. The bounce would be the 291. So 290 calls would be the best thing to take tomorrow, depending on how they open us. If they open us down and take us straight down, then we have a gap to fill back at around 290, 289. Yeah, 290.35. All right, so this is SPY. We got a 2 hour, rather get the daily going. This drawdown is huge. This one is big. Well, we have to activate this and bring this actually up here. This is basically where it started. Okay, let's extend this to the right. Perfect. Let's duplicate this. So currently we're looking at SPY. If we duplicate basically what happened 2018, ending of 2018 to what's going on currently, I mean, max downside would be around 274.87. The fact that we're gapping down here, we're opening gaps at 280, 288, and let's see what happens tomorrow. If we open below that, the downside is actually going to trigger us to come down to 274, or basically where this box is at, 277, which was in one of our videos 2 weeks ago. Let's duplicate this, bring it down to here. I gotta see where this box meets up at. So this is actually a supportive zone right here. Previous breakout level, but also a supportive zone where there were gaps being filled at here. These are gap levels. So 277.18 is going to be a very important level to watch over, basically within this range here. So if we do come down to here, the best thing to buy would be definitely September 320, September 300s. That's literally 30 points. You're gonna have some cheap premium. So if you have like $100 and you put it into something with like 6 months out that's actually trading at $1 or 50 cents, yep, you have a high chance of making literally 3 to 10 bags back within that 4 to 6 months, depending on the time frame. But this is the range we're looking at. And I think this box lines up on the inverted chart. This was that channel that I created, and it was actually more on the inverted chart that I drew last time, and they actually lined up each box. So this one would be here. This is how it would come out. So let's actually activate. Let's change this to the top, from top to bottom. Perfect. Oops. Perfect. Okay, good. It's just gonna have to adjust this top here to bring it down more. Then I can adjust. Okay, so bottom of this box would be here, connects to that box there, so I can bring this down. I mean, I know it makes sense here to me. This will be the channel. This will be the max drawdown would be around 277.18. The fact that the only issue that we have here is this decline was more of a inverted V. And by that, I mean, remember what happened? I'm going to use boxes here. Remember what happened with us in 2018, the ending? We had a V shape, and then it was just a V shaped bottom, and we just took off and hit all-time highs. Okay, now we're doing a V shape inverted to where it's actually the opposite. Now everything's going backwards. So I'm going to actually get my arrows here, like using my purple. So this box, top of the box to the bottom of the box was here. Top of the box, So the bottom of the box is here, right? It doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to be here. I mean, we can possibly be in this range, depending, actually, basically depending on how this goes. See, this here wasn't straight down. This actually we hit all-time highs, and we had a drawdown from, I think that's September to December, ending of December, right? Here, this drawdown took literally what? We topped out in February, right? And then we came down. Let's say our max drawdown is going to be all of March. We're going to get here around 274, 287. Possible we can definitely hit 269. So with this, I'm going to change the color to red, because this be happened like this. Within January, February, March, let's say 3 months, we already recovered majority of the move from the lows, right? But here, I can't even duplicate this arrow. We did February to March alone. And I was looking, we're going to open up somewhat here, possibly down to 277.18, which, oh man, I'm going to definitely start taking some leaps there, start nibbling leaps there. So that sharp V that we had in the beginning of 2019 from December lows to February highs, let's say that, before a pullback to double bar, which is a very important level. There's also a level that I said would be a great buy level, which I thought 291.28 would be a perfect buy level, but the double bar holds. This can be very, very good. But there's a lot of things I see that are giving off red flags. That can show that this can either be a correction, or this can be just another bull trap. This can be a bigger bull trap than anything. You know, people say, oh, we're still in a bull market, no matter how you put it. But this can be the biggest bear trap ever. You know, we're going to get a lot of volatility this week. I mean, the ranges are going to be ridiculous. So we're going to be making 100% literally in like 30 minutes, possibly even less than that, depending on how we open tomorrow and as the days go on. So I'm looking at this red bar. I don't know how long this amount took, but this was quick. This was basically beginning of February. No, topped out like the second week of February, topped out, and then we just had that crazy pull down here. I'd say they're thinking May. May is going to be probably the real trigger to buy. It's going to be a lot of bounces going on. I like this range that we are currently in right now. I want to see basically just a lot of this gap fill, come back down, fake up, break back down here, come up, probably bounce off hard here, and then we get like the craziest move. It comes up here, then bears get caught right here. Bulls get caught in a sense, but they'll bring it back down, and then they just rip it. You know, we'll probably get up here, get into this channel again, and bounce back up, come down. Like, things can go straight up if they want. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? You know, still get 360 end of year, probably 2020. I don't know, but anything is possible. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this in case, just to save this. Need to save this. All right, that's been saved. So, I mean, anything is very possible for tomorrow, for this week in general, but just watch your levels. Try not to react too fast if you're trading SPY, XPX, or ES. I mean, the real people making the real money are the pajama traders right now. Honestly, what's 10 bags to us is like 30 bags to them, because they're getting the real ranges. So that's SPY. You have your levels here for SPY. I'm looking at 280. I'm looking at 277.18, 274.87. I want to see how that reacts. If we can get 2 down days and then a crazy green Wednesday to fill both down days, just to recover at least 50% of the move, or possibly even 75% of that move down, come back up to 291. It can work. As long as we stay in this range of this box and every line stays to the T, this can work out pretty well. So that's SPY. The SPY levels have not changed, like I said. Even the inverted SPY levels have not changed. The inverted actually is a little bit different than the actual regular levels. I don't know if I cleared this chart. Probably did. No, actually I didn't. Levels are still intact. 281.02. That's going to be some resistance. So that's probably when we're going to top out and then we're going to come back down to the 14 SMA, but we're still going to continue to build to where we get to around 270.36. And then we'll probably come back down from there. But that's what I'm looking at. This, I still see more downside. This whole coronavirus is big. It's a big issue. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a virus or this and that. You guys, I don't think anybody paid attention much as I did, but this virus started in November. It wasn't talked about much. It didn't get much press from any media. So think about that. So they're saying, oh, we have cases in New York. We have cases in here. We have cases in there. We've had people probably already had it. People are just coming forward about it like, oh, you know what? Since they're doing it for free, now I can just go in there and see if I have it because I've been sick and I don't know what this was. So this is a lot of things like psychologically, you have to think about that. And I don't think people think how we should. I look at everything. I think I look at everything. Sorry about that. So, boom. Here's our inverted chart levels. You guys can just watch this video. Please pay attention to these videos because I don't think a lot of you pay attention. You guys are like, oh, what are the levels that Ninja said? I even tell you guys to take screenshots of these levels as well. They're very important. So we're going to, if we get 288.12 and down, we're getting 281.02. We're pretty outside of the 14 and 30 SMA. So the next test will probably be the 30 SMA, which probably falls around 309. I definitely see us seeing 309 again or 303.90. Possible flag building here. We're gonna get some probably get some rejection tomorrow. Might be a nice inverted hammer on the inverted SPY chart. Anything's possible. So now let's get into the nitty gritty. I'm gonna start with spot. I like spot. Why would the coronavirus have any effect really on spot? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're in home, like they said, NetEase gaming software, Netflix streaming subscription service. You're at home. You're away from everything. You know, it's like you're not outside exposed. Then you have bio stocks, like anything that can create a vaccine, or they, like I said, this reminds me of the OTC days, you know, where they pumped anything. You had the pot stock pump. They had the Bitcoin pump with OTC. They've done all of that, you know, and it's like, come and take an advantage of this. All right, you know what? We got a vaccine. Let's try a vaccine. Even though our vaccine might not work, let's just say we're going to put our vaccine into trials to boost our stock price. The only one right now that has the most ground is Guild. I've been saying this for a long time, but that's the only one that really has the most ground currently. And people are really sleeping on Guild. Guild is at 80 right now. I had a price target of 100 to 120, 125 if I'm correct. Oh, I like this right here on spot. Got a double bottom on the daily. I like the inverted. It has an inverted head and shoulder. Depending on how you draw this inverted head and shoulders, could be slanted as well. Neckline is 157.89. A break above that sends us to 169.03. The levels are intact. Nothing has changed with these spot levels. So keep that in mind. So if we gap down, let's say we gap down. So last week we had, I was looking at, what was it? SPY was down 5 points, right? Last Friday, even though it had a bigger range. It was 290 to 290, it was 290.23 to 298. So spot had a 5-point range that week, possibly 4-point range and some change. So spot closed 294. So if SPY opens down double of the net change close, which was -5 of last week, then think of spot opening down double that. So if it's at 294, let's say $3, it's gonna gap down probably $6, which is gonna put it around 139.86, which is right around here. Should be blue bar. And if that blue bar hits, I'm definitely gonna take 145s. That's going to be pretty decent. That's going to be a pretty decent entry. We'll be just below the 14 SMA. But nobody knows what's going to happen. We have no clue what's going to happen. Honestly, if we do get 139.86, I might definitely open up those 150. They might be pretty cheap. I have to check those as well. Let me check them. So you said let's take $6 off. 139.13. Tomorrow is the 9th. And those 150s are going to open up at 104. That's going to be beautiful. Actually the cheapest, smartest thing to do, honestly, would take the 145s at 216 because they closed at 510 around there, which was Mark. So at 216, take those 145s. You can add to the 150s or you can roll them. I mean, you're gonna take a loss on it if that actually happens, the 139s. But if the market bounced super hard tomorrow and those goes to flat, it goes from 216 back to 510, and then possibly by Wednesday, Thursday, another double on top of that, another 100%. So let's see what happens. That's gonna be spot. We have new. I like this new. This is correct. Let me make sure this is right. Yeah, this should be correct. Or NEU. Make sure. Nope. NEU. Oopsie. There we go. NEU. The reason this came up for me was because of the fact that it was on one of my scanners for 14 SMA. It wasn't actually the 14 SMA one, but I looked at the chart and I'm like, oh, somewhat of a triple bottom setup. Also possible head and shoulder setup to where 452 is going to be a good short area. But if this actually can be much bigger than what it is right now, because this pullback here, let's say it was there. It's just like a big megaphone. So this can be crazy. Let me actually not even do it from the wick. Here. Activate. So it'd be something like this. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't characterize this as a cup and handle because the handle is way too low. It would have to be somewhere around 42, 46, bounce off of there. But instead, it actually bounced off of this support area around 379.13-ish, close to it, and then bounced off. So this one, I want you guys to keep on watch. I'm definitely watching this one closely. I'm not looking for anything short term. Everything is more long term. April, May, June, July. I'm looking at April, May, June, July. I'm not really looking at March. If I'm looking at March, I'm looking at March 27th for anything. I'm playing smart. I'm thinking smart. This is a weekly chart. So if this weekly chart is true, a setup like this, you got a green bar, then a red bar outside. The green bar is inside of the red bar. Last time I had a green bar inside of a red bar. Following week it was down. So it opened up basically below red bar and it came back down to 380. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Not sure what this company does, but I do like it a lot. Let me go into my phone because I know I have more. Hold on. It was a CYRX, if that's correct. Babe, I don't want to go over it. ABB, I don't want to go over it. CYRX. I like this. Cheap, but I like this one for time. I don't like it for the price. I like it for time. Look, CYRX. CYRX. Chart's pretty interesting. Looking at this is a weekly chart to be exact. Not sure what this company does, but it was green, up 4%, while the market's down. I mean, it peaked basically almost 20 that past week. I like how it's trading above the 1430 SMA on the weekly chart. It's trending upwards, actually. It's still in the upwards trend. It's one thing that gets me. That's what I like. Hold on, just bring this up here. I got a couple of strikes that I'm watching with this one. For long term, there's a couple of them. I wasn't looking at March. I was definitely looking at April. I was looking at May, and I think August as well. So I was looking at I think it's April 20s, the 145, but then I was also looking at the May 2250s. I think those are pretty decent for the price. But again, we want to see exactly what's going on. We don't know what's going on yet, so we can actually just wait and see where we're going to be this week to make a move on this. But I really don't want to buy anything until I see a direction tomorrow. So when SPY opens, I'm gonna actually have my watch list open with spot calls and puts. I mean, if we're gapping down, which we possibly might, big time, like double currently what we are right now, because we're down 145 points. If we do another 145 points, which would be intense, it would be crazy. That's 24 points for SPY. So that would be insane. It's gonna be a lot of panic. People are gonna be selling, definitely. You're gonna have people buying, of course, because when there's sellers, there's always buyers. And I just want you guys to just be ready. Just be ready for anything this week. Any and everything. EXR, another one I want to go over. Storage stocks. What better thing to do is put things away in storage. I seen there was limits on how much bottles of water you can buy now. Since when? So think about it. I go to the store tomorrow, buy me 2 cases of water, put that in my storage. Go back the next day, put it in my storage. Some people don't have basements. Some people don't have this, so they put things in storage. They put it away. We don't know how serious this whole thing is, which is possibly serious than people actually think. But storage stocks, you got streaming stocks, anything that is at home, stay at home, honestly, look long-term, bullish. You can't buy, like, it doesn't make sense. No matter, the market could be bearish and there's going to be stocks that you can go long and make money in because it's beneficial. Clorox, that stock is taking off. I looked at that over the weekend. Pretty interesting. And it came a long way because we used to trade that when it was, I think it was it was under 100. Came a long way. Now it's near all-time highs. There's just a lot of different things you guys got to watch. Like, y'all want to trade, let's trade Netflix, let's trade this. Yeah, okay, you can trade Netflix, you can trade this, but you can't go, just because in the past it worked going long, doesn't mean it's going to work again this time. Now, I think that's where the confusion comes from. Everybody's basing, this move is going to be same as 2007, 2008. People were saying that for the past 8 months, past 10 years, or whatever. And I'm just here like, why are you focused on the past? Focus on the present. Focus on price. You have to focus on the price. Let me actually fix this because this needs to come down. This is a low here, so it has to adjust. So I'm thinking I'll just bring this up here. And I can bring this down here. Nah, it doesn't line up correctly. Let's try that. All right, much better. Awesome. So this EXR, we in these. We have MAA, Cube as well, Lopi as well. These were green as the market was bright red Friday. EXR, like, after, just look at the ranges. So SPY popped 3 points. EXR went from 106.89 to, look, we closed at 110.02. A 3-point move. Just on a 3-point range with SPY. So If we calculate it in that sense, I think the 100 puts will probably pay tomorrow for EXR. I'm not too sure, but everything is best to be hedged. That's why we have the 261 puts just in case. And I made that clear. I took 261 puts for next Friday as a hedge. If I'm sized long calls, that hedge that I'm taking has to be equivalent in a sense to it, either 50% of whatever my size is. So if I'm 10K deep in calls, I would be 5K deep in puts with time though. So I'm short term 10K in long calls with a longer dated 5K puts. So one side's gonna pay, and one side it's gonna be a balance. It's somewhat like they say, like a not it's a hedge. Strangle would be basically buying the same put and call strike. But in this case, I like my odds, so I rather put 5K on the short side and 10K on the long side, just in case. But on the long side for stocks that don't take much damage in this type of market, where they can be considered beneficial. And I think people are not looking at it like that. I look at everything in that sense of, okay, can we benefit from this long term for what's going on currently? Extra storage stocks. Why is that place not going to get clients now? Why is the clientele going to die down? Spotify. Okay, we're home. There's nothing to do. Let's listen to music. These are things I got to look at. Look at what's green on your list. If there's nothing green and everything's red, start transferring all those things that are red into a list of stocks that, okay, these would be good candidates to go long to when it's time to, when the market flips and goes and starts going up. Make a list of that. Or anything that's green, okay, this stock is strong while the market is pulling back. Okay, let's add this to the list. All right, strong stocks in a correction. You can just make a watch list like that. I just want you guys to be focused. I want you guys to just have a plan. If you don't have a plan, and I'm not talking about, oh, I'm going to buy this strike and that strike, that's my plan. A plan is, okay, this stock works in this time and these conditions. This stock works in these conditions. You guys need to have that. And this whole weekend, like being with my daughter, I didn't really think about the market much. A lot of you guys DM'd me and stuff like that this weekend. And I put a lot of things in perspective. Like, I see your thinking and I don't knock your thinking, but at the end of the day, it's like, just do what works. Look at what makes sense, what doesn't. Why is this up, but this is down? Like, I even looked at apartment stocks. Why is MAA so strong? But you have, I think it's a ACB, and there's another one, other. I don't even care. I know the tickers. I know those other tickers, but they are weak. But this one's gaining. Like, there's just a lot of things you got to look at. What's the reason to it? You don't know what it is. You just got to follow them. And if you don't understand a ticker and how it behaves, watch it for 3 months. See what it does. The average trader that's been doing this for years, they can adapt to the behavior of a stock they never traded within a week or 2 weeks. Just by watching it by itself, keeping it on a watch list, seeing where the price is at when the market is here by Wednesday, and this thing has not changed, it hasn't had a pullback since, or it's just a lot of things you have to make note of. Mental notes, or actually write them down, which is very important. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to focus. I'm ready for tomorrow. We have spot, EXR, cube, SPY calls, SPY. I have actually no SPY calls. I'm lying to you guys. I have no SPY calls. SPY puts, 261, 320 puts that expire March 27th. Guild, I still have my Guild 75 calls for March 27th. I have not sold. I still have those. So I'm holding on to those. I have no SPY calls, none whatsoever, because of the inside week. Everything that we traded with SPY was all due to inside week. I told you guys it was inside week. And if it's an inside week and you hear me say inside week, expect the inside week, don't trade it, because I don't, like, why complain when you all along, you knew that it was inside week, and inside weeks are considered chop. they're gonna have good ranges. You know, there's money to be made, but it's a swingers. It's a not a swinger. Sorry, it's a scalpers. It's a scalp. It's a inside weeks are scalpers territory because it's a specific range. So if the range is the lowest 100, the highest 120, you have a 20-point range that's going to be trading. It could be trading from 100 to 105, then 105 to 103, then 103 to 108, then 108 back to 100, then 100 back to 110. That's a scalper's market. You know, a scalper's range. I gotta stop saying scalper's market. You know, there's money to be made. I'm tired of him. There's not like stay cash and everything like that. You know, they say let your cash work for you. You can make your cash work for you. You just, if you have $200 in the first 3 minutes of your trade, get out of it. Wait till Wednesday and trade it again. You can do 3 trades a week if you want. Be nimble. I know a couple of people on our team they're money and they're playing with even small accounts. I'm gonna use one example tomorrow morning before market opens. I'm gonna share one person. Their account, they've been wiring out money every 2 days. Actually, it's every 2 days. With a small account. With a very small account. And it adds up. At the end of the week, I'm like, you know how much you're putting away? Like their goal is basically put away half their capital by the time the cash settles to where they can wire it out. You guys are thinking, oh, I'm gonna make my money back. Like a lot of you guys gave money back. You guys gave your money back. So let's say last week the week before last you made 20K. If you wired out 15K, going into last week, you should be only in with 5K. So if you lost that 5K, you're not giving much back. You're just playing with the 5K. But if you're wiring back that 20K or 15K you wired out, that is the dumbest thing to do. I'm so sorry. Every week you should always, when you're wiring out, you have to think, okay, when I go into next week, I'm playing with, okay, last week I started with 5K, I ended the week at 25K. I'm wiring out 20K. Now you're starting with 5K. Now, usually when I was playing with the 5K from last week, I was doing 1K positions max. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do $500 to $200 max. You have to change your mindset every time you go into a new week. That's what I've been learning. I gotta start making excuses saying the first of the month is my best time of the month, because honestly, the first 2 weeks is not my best 2 weeks. It's having your mind think that it's the first week of the month. If I can just keep resetting my brain like that over the weekend, this is why weekends I really don't like to talk markets until Sunday, because you guys are overcrowding your thinking. Like, no offense, talking about the market every freaking day, after you just got up, I mean, I get it. You had a crazy day. Let's say tomorrow we have a crazy day. You're just like, oh, I can't get over my mistakes. I can't get over my mistakes. That's a big issue, because you're focused on, oh, I can't get over my mistakes. All right, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to do this differently. Stop thinking about jumping right back into it the next day. Take a break. You took a killing, take a break. When I took a hit last Monday, I took a 25K hit on that Monday. The next day, I'm like, I messed up. I know what I messed up. Okay, you know what? I can't do anything about it. Wipe it out. Tuesday. Now Tuesday's here. What I did, less size, way smaller than usual. I'm like, you know what? Build it up, and got back to break even by Thursday. And I just kept going from there. And it just worked out. Like, you should not be wiring in money. If you see your capitals going down fast, you're playing with either too much or you have no real risk tolerance. Because if you're like, oh, I'm down 80% from all my capital, it's going to bounce back. You can't think like that. You got to be like, you know what? I'm already down 20%. I'm out. If I'm playing with 20K and I'm down 5 to 10%, I'm out. I'm sorry. Well, 15% is my max on a 20K position. I'm sorry. 15% is my max. 15 to 20%. I let that happen. But you can't allow, like, yourself to be like, you know what? It's gonna bounce. It's possibly gonna bounce. I'm gonna stop looking at it. Sometimes you stop looking at it, it does bounce, you know, and that happens. But if you're watching the market all day and you're just looking at a 5-minute chart, a 1-minute chart, if you're a day trader, that makes sense. But if you're telling me, oh, it just bounced off the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, I gotta block it out. It doesn't work for me. I can't listen to you.